Hi everybody, welcome back to Slone Stitches. It's WIP Parade Day. Are you ready? This is going to be my 2025 mid-year WIP Parade. I am filming this on Monday, July 7th, so just over halfway through the year. If you're new here, a little bit of a quick introduction. I know WIP Parades can pull in some new viewers or some people that haven't been around in a while. So my name is Jess. I am 39 years old. I live in a suburb of Cincinnati, Ohio with my husband and our 11-year-old son. And I started cross-stitching when I was 7. Took a big long break through high school, college, and the first few years of my kiddo's life and started back up in 2018 and have been going strong ever since. Started this Flosstube channel back in January, and it's been quite the adventure, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I did a WIP Parade as my very first video back in January, so it's going to be fun to go through these and see the progress that's been made on a lot of these, to see what new projects have popped up. And I was even surprised going through yesterday prepping how much progress I have made on some of these projects. Because sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you don't necessarily think that you're making as much progress as you are. But it was pretty cool to go back and find progress pictures and things like that. A quick word about the progress pictures. I am going to pop in pictures of these projects where they were back in January. Now, back in January when I filmed that first video, I didn't know how this whole thing was going to go. I did not take actual pictures because I thought I might not ever post that video. So I've just got screen grabs from the video of what the projects look like. They're not the best, but I took pictures of everything yesterday. So when we get to 2026, we'll have some decent videos, I promise. I am going to, where applicable, show where it was at the beginning of the year. I have had quite a few new starts already in 2025. I will cover fabric, etc., go over bags and needle minders at a very high level. Some of these things I have had for the better part of a decade. I might not know exactly where I got them, but if I gloss over something and you have a specific question, just let me know. You can leave me a comment. You can find me on Instagram as Slone Stitches, or you can shoot me an email and I'll put that in the description box down below. It's just if you have a more in-depth question. Let's see. I think that's it. We do have a little bit of old business before we get into the WIP Parade. Well, we had a giveaway on my last Flosstube, and even though this isn't a regular Flosstube update, I thought I would go ahead and announce the winner of that. I will pop your comment from the random comment picker right up here, and the giveaway was for this Bent Creek kit. Penguin Snow Globe. The winner is Forest City Stitching. Right there. Great clove. You might hear cats. If you're new here, I have 4 because we adopted my mom's cat when she passed. But our oldest one, my first baby, she is 18 and she is loud because she's deaf. So you'll have to forgive her if you hear her during this. She'll probably go lay down. So let's get straight into the WIP Parade because we have 33 projects to cover today, which is a slight increase of quite a few from where I was in January. But that's okay. We're going to work through them. I thought to change things up this time, I'm going to go from my newest projects, the ones most recently started, and we'll work our way backwards. That way you'll see more and more progress theoretically as the projects go on. So let's get started because we're going to be here. Grab a snack, grab a drink, settle in. Maybe on Instagram, I've seen people say, like, tell me how far you got in your stitching, if you were stitching while you were watching this. So maybe take a picture of your project right now and then again at the end and tag me on Instagram and let me see how far you got. Because I'm very interested. So the first project that I'm going to show, actually I think the first 2 are ones that have not been shown on my regular Flosstube updates yet. So a little bit of a bonus. I just started a project on June 29th. This is My Flowers from Boomerang Stitches, my sweet friend Amity, who is one half of the Hathaway Stitchers here on Flosstube. I bought this pattern at StitchCon last month. Isn't it crazy that StitchCon was already almost a month ago? So I am stitching this on a piece of 18 count Aida in River Rock from Millenial Fabrics, my friend Sarah. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross, and I have done a full conversion to Romy's Creations and Almond M&M's flosses. And this is my little start on it. The variegation, especially in that orangish yellow, is so good. I am loving the way this is working up. I love the flosses. I'm going to go through them with you really quick. And this is a pin I bought at Disneyland's in June. Miko and Flit from Pocahontas. I turned it into a needle minder. So real quick, let's just go through my flosses that I picked for this. I stood at the wall at StitchCon in the annex and just picked them. Just looked at the pattern and picked what my heart liked. So very quickly, this is Almond M&M's Peaches, Almond M&M's Crystal Lake, Almond M&M's Toadlet. That's that orangish yellow that works up so good. Almond M&M's Spruce, Almond M&M's Winter Solstice, Romy's Creations Mistletoe, and Romy's Creations Mustard. So that's the palette that I picked out for this piece. Okay, I did unzip bags before I got started, but I am going to zip them back because I'm really afraid that I'm going to have a huge mess on my hands if I don't. Try to do it down here and very quickly. Moving on. The next project that I started recently is Kindred Friends from Heart and Hand. This was the StitchCon exclusive. I don't think I had started this when I filmed last, but maybe I did. I can't remember. Either way, there's no picture of it because it is still a StitchCon Keepsakes exclusive. And we also got an exclusive border through our guidebook from StitchCon. So this is the piece. I am doing this on all the called for. I bought the fabric. I bought the Classic Colorworks flosses. So here's the color palette. And I won't show color palettes on everything, but some of them I just have them handy. I don't usually use floss drops. I'm a floss bag person. But we've got... I already skipped a bag. I just realized. This is from Quilt Church, my friend Krista. Very well made. You should check her out. She has a floss tube, quilt tube, all the things. So here's where I am on Kindred Friends. Very small start. I'm doing this 2/1 full cross. This is a 16 count Aida. This is cookie dough from Needle Bling. So fully kitted it there. Got my little 310 needle minder. She is the shop cat from Keepsakes, who hosts StitchCon every year. So just a very small start, but it's a small pattern. And I really think that the next time I get around to it in my rotation, I'll probably get it done. But we'll see. Oh. Famous last words. And this is in this really cute Allegro Stitches bag. I think she's from Alaska. So super cute. All right. Next up is a project that I started at StitchCon. Funny enough, this is also in an Allegro Stitches bag. These cute little summertime sloths. This one is a very tiny little thing from the Frosted Pumpkin called Waves Galore. And this is where it's at. There are needle minders all up in it. and it's still on the hoop because it's very little and it just fits, and I wanted to keep it on there. This is on a 40 count mystery even weave from a BeStitchMe grab bag. And I'm doing this 1/2, all with the called for DMC. Started it at StitchCon, stitched on it just a little bit after that. The Lumiere needle minder came from someone at StitchCon, and then my friend Christina from my stitching group gave me the donut. So they're both just kind of hanging out on here for now. But also a very small little pattern. I mean, this is 34.7% complete, according to Pattern Keeper. So again, another one that the next time I get back to it won't take very long to finish. I really need more summer things in my house, so this is desperately needed. Okay, next up is an ode to libraries from Heartstring Samplery. I just re-zipped this bag. I started this on May 29th, 2025. This is on a piece of 32 count lugana from BeStitchMe in the color Macchiato. I'm doing this 1/2, kind of a mix of called for, some DMCs that I picked, a BeStitchMe silk that I picked for the lettering. We're going to fold this all the way up because there's not a very big start on it. Although it was a lot of stitching, there's a lot of little motifs. This is where that is currently. Just very, very cute color. Like, I just love the way these colors combine. I'm very happy with the subs that I made. And this is a pin that I bought, I think from Box Lunch maybe. Turned it into a needle minder, as I do these days. I love this fabric. It's such a great neutral, and this is a huge piece of it. So I'm definitely gonna get another project or two out of this, which is fantastic. And this project lives in a literal wet bag for a swimming pool or the beach. Love and be kind. It works as a project bag. It's fine. All right, so the next project that I have, there's about to be hissing. You are way too close to her, though. Bear with me. The next project I have is the Christmas Switch. This is from Kathy Barrick. I started this on May 2nd, 2025 as part of the Halfway to Halloween sale hosted by Jason, who is Jason X Stitch, and Tyler, who is Will It Stitch? Yes, I believe so. If that's wrong, I'll fix it down below. But this is on a piece of 28 count lugana in accent from Grace Notes Fabrics. Really, really pretty shade of like cantaloupe orange. It's actually showing up pretty true. So, hi Clove. That's how far I got on that one before I moved on. 2/2 on the 28 count, all with DMC. And this needle minder came with a project bag that I bought, I believe, from the 805 Stitcher. So love that project. Can't wait to get back to that. And I have this one in this really pretty bag that I got from someone who was selling them at Stitchin' and Indie. It was a birthday gift from Erin and Amity, and I love it. These cute little kitties and the pumpkins. This one's coming out for Christmas in July as well. I put it in my rotation for this month, so I'll get a few more stitches on it here soon. Okay. Next, you can tell I had like startitis in the late spring this year. This is Happy Campers from the Blue Flower. This start was not my fault. My friend Kathy reached out to me and said, oh, I saw you have that pattern and I stitch it on the 29th every month for my birthday, which is on the 29th. And do you want to start it with me? And I said, of course I do. Thank you for heeding my startitis. So this is on a piece of 20 count Aida in cream and sugar from Fiber on a Whim. Started this on April 29th, 2025, if I didn't say that already. I got quite a bit of that top border done. It's so much stitching, but it's a lot of fun. This butterfly was really, I guess the moth was really fun to do. And I love the little constellation. And I understand that my needle minder is upside down. So love this one. Cannot wait to get down to that cabin. I usually don't like stitching houses, but I'll make an exception for that cabin. It's pretty cute. This project is in, oh, I don't want to get it wrong, a painted leaf co-bag. Pumpkin Spice Life. But super cute. Love that. The next one, speaking of birthday starts, I started for my birthday on April 14th of this year, 2025. This is the Splash Mountain Crest from Atomic Tiki Pins. I love her patterns. She has so many really cute Disney ones that I'd love to do. So started with this one. I'm going to do several of the ride crests for all of our favorites that we like at Disney. So this one is on an 18 count Aida from Grace Notes Fabrics in Mint Chocolate Chip. I'm doing it 1/1. And there it is. Let's see. The colors washed out a little bit. The blue is a little brighter than that. And the stitching really pops off of it in person. But that's okay. And then this needle minder is, again, a Disney pin. I found it on eBay. So it's got my name on it. Although I don't go by Jessica ever. But that's okay. Little monorail pin. I love that. I can't wait to get back to that. The only thing with having so many projects in the rotation these days is that I'm probably going to say I want to get back to that a lot. But I've already got it up to 11.7%. So this is in a Jasmine Custom Bags bag with all the Disney rides on it. Love that. And I love the little pull on the zipper, little iridescent Mickey. Sorry. Okay. Hi. Next up is a pattern that I saw and got some serious FOMO over because it was an exclusive at Acorns and Threads for their acorn gathering. And thankfully, just like others in the past, they released it on their website to people that didn't attend the retreat. So I snatched it up the second I saw it. This is Acorns and Friends from Lola Cross Stitch. I started this on April 11th of 2025. It's on an 18 count Aida in Arpeggio from Grace Notes Fabrics. 1/1. I love this so much. I started in the bottom corner because I want to do the raccoon last. Let me fold it one more time. But look at the little mole. He's so cute. And I love my needle minder. This is also a pin that I found at the antique mall. And turned into a needle minder. But look at him with his little claws. I love it. When I stitch this piece anywhere where there are other stitchers, it's so popular. People love this. Brilliant. I just love animals doing human-like things or wearing human clothes. I'm a sucker for it. So, big fan of this one. I love that the raccoon is stitching trash. This is also in a painted leaf coat bag. It's Christmas, but that's okay. Most of my bags don't match. Let's be really honest. And I don't care. That's fine. So love that. That is still available. I checked yesterday on Acorns and Threads website. So you can go on there and order it. And you can order all the stuff too if you want. They'll send you the fabric and the floss and they'll pick it all for you. So just an option if you're into that kind of thing. The next project that I have was started on April 4th of 2025. This is Beauty and the Beast from Lena Ova. This is on a 36 count linen in Say Cheese from Fox and Rabbit. I found this on the freebie table at StitchCon 2 years ago, and I think it's because people don't really like yellow. It takes an acquired taste, I think, to want to stitch on yellow fabric. And all I could think of was, I need to find a Beauty and the Beast piece to do on this fabric. And I did. So this is 1/2. It's at 5.24%. I'm doing it all in this like navy royalish blue color, but then accenting the corners with the red to represent the rose. And then once again, I believe from the 805 stitcher, could be wrong, could be someone else, a needle minder that came with this bag. Who is it? Nope, wrong. Little Boat 88. We'll admit when we make a mistake. So, very matchy-matchy. But I like this. Beauty and the Beast has always been my absolute favorite Disney movie, and you'll see that coming up here again in a little while. Makes me happy. Can't wait to get back to that one again. Next up is probably one of my favorite current projects, and it's not honestly very far. It's at 14.9%, but I love it. This is Projet Temperatures from Delphine Luthine. This pattern you can get from their Facebook group, and it's very hard to link for some reason. I don't know if it's a country thing or what the issue is, but it never works right. It might be because it's private. I don't know. But I'll copy and paste the name of the group in the description box. And if you just put that into Facebook, you should be able to find it. They have lots of free patterns in their files, which is very kind. But this temperature chart was super popular, especially at the beginning of this year, because everybody's looking for a temperature project that's different. You've seen all the, the normal ones over and over again. So I decided to do something a little different. I did not have a memorial piece for my grandmother who passed away in 2007. So I went looking for the historical data from 1934 in Cincinnati, which is the year she was born, and found all the high temperatures. So I'm stitching it for her. I'm going to have her name and that year on it. Started this on her birthday, March 30th of this year. This is on a 16 count Aida in Vintage Country Mocha from Zweigart, doing it 2/1 full cross. And I have in January and February so far. So love that. It's super cute. You can see I did make a little mistake. I didn't realize that there was a notch for the 29th of February. There were 28 days in February in 1934. But that's okay. I just added some extra hearts, and I'm certainly not going to go through and rip all of this out just to get rid of it. So it's all right. So I love that. I can't wait to do March. I'm going to do something special, I think, for the 30th, since that's her birthday. So we'll see where I go on that. I could not tell you where I got this needle minder. It's very cute, but I probably got it 7 or 8 years ago. So I couldn't tell you. I'm doing this all in DMC, by the way, with the recommended temperature ranges and everything, except I did eliminate the lowest range because none of the temperatures in that year fell in it, and swapped those last two colors. And there were actually quite a few over 104 degree days in that year. So I'm hoping we don't get this year, but we'll see. This is just in one of those Amazon bags. I have other ones I could probably switch it into, but at this point, it's just one that I pull out every now and then, and I can knock out a month's worth, usually in a day, just sitting around. So it's fine. Next up is my 4 Seasons from Emma Congdon, who is the mastermind behind Stitchropia. This is from her Cross Stitch for the Earth book. I have completed one other piece from this, and I'm just kind of slowly working my way through all of the patterns in that book that I like, which is most of them. This is the piece. They don't have names, so I'm just calling this Four Seasons. What I'm doing with this piece is I started it on the first day of spring. So started this on March 20th, 2025. Worked my way across the spring column at first to make sure that I was ready for summer, and then started working down. So then on the first day of summer, I did the same thing. So I will show you. This is on an 18 count Aida in Pinciero from Grace Notes Fabrics. So you can tell I was in their fabric club for a while, because for quite a bit here, there's a whole lot of Grace Notes in this WIP Parade. But here's where I am. That honeycomb was so fun, and I did that at StitchCon, and how I got the counting correct during that process, I don't know, it's some kind of miracle. But I am all the way over to the fall section, so no matter how far I get on this during the summer, I'm ready to go for the fall. And then, if you couldn't guess, as this comes back up in my rotation, I'll just stitch on the season that it's called for. So love that. This little, just one more stitch needle minder was a gift from someone at StitchCon in 2023. And then this is living in a bag that I found on the freebie table that same year. It's Gilmore Girls inspired, which I used to watch Gilmore Girls when I was younger. So all Gilmore Girls inspired. I think this was from, I can't remember. This was in a box from someone, I think. Black Needle Society, probably, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because when I think about Gilmore Girls and cross stitching, it's usually who I think of, because they have those really nice patterns. So, got that in that one. And I'm stitching that with several people, and several people who are close or are done with spring and summer already, which is way better than what I could do. So props to you, Tan, the monogamous cross stitcher, specifically. So that's fun. A little unofficial style that I started earlier this year. No hashtag or anything. Join in if you're into it. Then my next one is the Blue Flower Seasons of the Heartstring. And what I am doing, I'll show you, I have them all in here. I'm doing all four of the traditional seasons as a grid, 2 and 2, on one piece of fabric. So I am not doing what I am doing with my 4 seasons and starting them seasonally. I'm just going to work through them one at a time. But I started this on March 5th, 2025. This is on, wait till you see it, the most amazing piece of 40 count even weave in autumn from BeStitchMe. I'm doing this 1/2 with DMC. Are you ready for this piece of fabric? It is washing out, but that's okay. You can get the idea. It's kind of better. So that's how far I am on spring. So really not too much left to go, about half of it left, honestly. Let me fold this up so I can bring you in for somewhat of a more decent look. I love this. It's so delicate looking, and this even weave is like butter to stitch on. You have no idea. Give me a piece of higher count BeStitchMe even weave every day and just let me loose. I love him. He's so cute. So that's where I am on my Seasons of the Heart project. This is in this really pretty bag from, let's see, Alera Designs. I bought this at Stitch Away in January. All these books, which I am a book library person, and I really like the bags. So these days people are doing this more and more often. They have the little snaps, like patterns are in this pocket up here and the rest of it's in there. So I love that. My little zipper pull on it is just a little one that I had made for Stitch Away. matches perfectly, and it was not planned, so I love it when that happens. Then speaking of stitch away, the next piece that I have to show you, and then we're going to get into ones that have progress pictures. So we're backing out of 2025 very slowly here. This is the little brown bat from Cottage Garden Samplings. I started this on February 1st, 2025, and this Sal is the hashtag breakfast with a bat Sal that was born out of a literal little bat that was in the breakfast restaurant dining room area of the lodge at Stitch Away. I mean, it's in a park. It's in a national park, state park. And there's nature, right? But no one could catch this bat, and the maintenance guy sounded like that bat was there pretty frequently. So people were just having breakfast with the bat. And Aaron and Amity and I decided we were going to start a stitch along with any bat you had, any pattern that had a bat on it. So I started this on a piece of 36 count linen in Saris from Under the Sea Fabrics that I bought at Stitch Away. And I have this fabric kitted up for several other projects because I love it. It's so dirty looking and grungy, and it just makes me very happy. And this is where I am on him. He's a lot of fun. He's a lot of counting, but he's a lot of fun. So I'm obviously currently filling in all of that black, which is kind of tedious, but typically what I'll do is I'll put in a couple strands of the black and then I'll something else that's not as tedious. Switch out some fill in for some counting and vice versa. But he's really close to done, honestly, if you don't count all the fill in. And I'll show you this needle minder I also bought at Stitch Away from Charlie from Psychiatric Help. I'm not saying I need it, but maybe sometimes I need it. So I love that. I am so excited with the new Year in the Woods patterns that have started coming out. The very first one was a wolf, which I have to get because my son, his mascot at school is a wolf. And then there was a sugar glider, and it's so cute. This is in a bag that my friend Maureen made. She brought a bunch of them to our stitching group one day last year, and I picked this one out. It's super cute. Thank you, Maureen. All right, we are moving into 2024, and I need a drink. Okay. So, my New Year's Eve start, because I always do a New Year's Eve start, on the 31st of December of 2024, is Far Better Things from Sweet Wing Studio. My son picked this out from Market that year, because he was in a book club at school when he was in 4th grade, and they were in the advanced one, and they did Chronicles of Narnia. So he saw this when I was flipping through patterns for Market and said, really love that. And I said, well, then I will stitch it for you. So started this for him. It's on an 18 count Aida, Grace Notes Fabrics in G1. I'm doing this 2/1 full cross, because back then I was not doing the one strand as much as I am now. That is now my preferred way to stitch, is with one strand. So this is where it was. I have to remember to do that now. This is where it was when you saw it at the beginning of the year, and this is where it is now. There are far things than any. Super cute. I love it. It's stitching up really well. It looks really good on this dusky purple fabric, which is being washed completely out. That's okay. You get the idea. And this needle minder looks like my son's Lovey that he's had since he was a few months old. He couldn't say giraffe when he was a baby, like a toddler. Obviously, he couldn't say anything at 3 months old, but as he grew, he couldn't say giraffe. So he called it his Geesh. And don't you know, he is darn near 11 and a half years old. And he still calls it his Geesh. And so do we. It's just Geesh. So I'm loving the progress that I have made on that one so far. Hopefully that'll be a finish this year. I could probably count this as a Christmas in July piece and work on it right now this month, but I have other things going on and Sorry, it'll get done when it gets done. This is in a Como Stitches bag, just a little guy. I got this from my friend Michelle. It was in my stitching group. It was part of our Christmas exchange. We do a smalls exchange with our little group every year. And this was in her bag. Thank you, Michelle. All right, sticking with the Christmas theme, something that I am working on for Christmas in July currently, and just did quite a bit of work on a few days ago, is Santa's Night Tree from Hello from Liz Matthews. This was a Jingle Ball exclusive, I believe in 2023. I started this on December 12th, 2024. It's on a 32 count lugana in Azure from Zweigart. I'm doing it 2/2, which again, wouldn't do that now, but that's okay. This is where it was when you saw it at the beginning of the year. And I had not worked on it at all until just this past week. But it's now at 43%. And I got all the plaid done. This is 43% of that pattern. I'll bring that in for you. Oh, it was a beast, but it was so worth it, you guys. It looks really good. I understand that there's a thing hanging there. That little cat needle minder I got from someone at StitchCon this year. Super cute. So I did all the plaid, got in the date and all that fill in, and started just a little bit of the snow. So, oh, I love it. It looks so good. Do I have any idea how I'm going to finish this into a tree? No. Do I think I left enough margin on this side to do the tree? Also, no. But we're going to figure it out. We will make do. We can fudge it just a little bit. It'll be okay, I think. This is, I'm doing it all with DMC. This is in a Love You More Studio book sleeve. These really pretty gold Christmas trees on it. I like these. I don't think they make them anymore. I haven't seen anything from them about these in a long time. But I like them for projects. I don't think I've ever put a book in them, ever. But I love them for projects. Next up is one of my other favorite projects that I have currently going on. This is Music Amongst the Trees from Rosewood Manor. I am doing this as a memorial piece to my mom. My mom passed away in March of 2024, and she was quite young, honestly, to have passed away. It was just a few weeks before her 68th birthday, and she was too young to go, and I was too young to lose her, and it has obviously really affected me deeply. And I work her into projects when I can, and I wanted to do one that was completely for her. So I picked this one because she loved being outside. She loved her garden. So I thought it was fitting. I have done a ton of modifications to the border of this, the top border. I'll show you those because the top border is finished and I've started working down into the meat of the piece. I started this on November 5th, 2024, which is the 1-year anniversary of when she went into the hospital. Yes, you heard the dates right. She was in the hospital for 4.5 months before she passed. It was a lot. This is on a 32 count lugana from BeStitchMe in Sand Dollar. I'm doing it 2/2. And here is where it was. Here's where it was. Here's where it is now. Pop it in here. There we go. So you can see I switched around. Like, she loved cardinals. She really had an affinity for them and thought that they were her loved ones. So I changed the birds to red. I subbed out some of the birds, added her dates of birth and death and her initials, which I did her maiden initials because she and my dad got divorced when I was like 1.5 years old, but she kept his last name so that she'd have the same last name as me, which was nice of her, I guess, but I know she hated it. So I changed her back to her maiden initial of a K. I figured she'd like that. And then the other side, you know, the traditional. And then my needle minder on this is Peter Pan. Second star to the right and straight on till morning. So That's where it is. I was really surprised because it's like it's a lot of stitching, right? And there's a lot of color changes in a rosewood manor piece. But it really works out pretty fast, even for all the color changes that there are, which is a pleasant surprise. And it's long, but it's narrow. So, I was almost caught off guard when I hit the bottom of it. But hey, that's good. Maybe it'll get done faster than I thought. This is in a dot dot goose bag, which is just gorgeous. I need to show you the inside fabric too. Sorry for the extra zip. But it's got these gorgeous pink and green and white Christmas trees. And then the other fabric is poinsettias and peppermints. Just a very pink and green Christmas theme, which is super cute. Let's see. We are out of Christmas. We are into my Halloween era of 2024. This is Witch's Hallow from Autumn Lane Stitchery. This was part of their Halloween box in 2023 that I purchased. This pattern is now available for anyone to purchase from them if you want to. I started this on October 17th, 2024. It's on the called for pumpkin patch from BeStitchMe in a 36 count linen. The me from back then started this 2/2. And I want to strangle the me from back then, but it's okay. It's working out. I started up in the full coverage area at the top. This is what it looked like at the beginning of this year. And I have put just a very small bit of work into this year. So this fabric is much brighter than this. It is orange, kind of. So I'm glad I started with the full coverage because I think if I had done everything else and then hit this full coverage at the end, I would have given up. Or it would probably languish for a lot longer than it's currently going to languish. That's where it is. I was super cute. This is from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, I believe, from their Halloween sale a couple years ago. Cute little black cat. And I had this piece of fabric for a different project, which I can still use it. This is only going to take up half of it. So that's good. And this is in a bag. It matches the needle minder I showed you earlier from the 805 Stitcher. Cute little black cats. My cat's actual fur is all over this. So gross. Okay. Our next project is the Haunted Library from Lola Cross Stitch. I did not participate in this when it was a sale. I bought it after the fact. I kind of have been burned by mystery sales in the past, so I stay away from them for the most part. Every now and then you'll catch me completing one as it goes along. But I loved this. I love books and libraries, anything books and libraries. And Lola Crow is one of my favorite designers. So once I saw the completed piece, had to have it. I started this on October 6th, 2024. This is where you saw it at the beginning of the year. I have put in some work on this. It's up to 20.5% now. It's on an 18 count piece of Aida in Malachite from Fiber on a Whim. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross. And this is where it is now. Oh, it's so fun. And I don't particularly pay attention to the picture while I'm stitching. I'm just I have it on Pattern Keeper, and you can't really see the elements super well on Pattern Keeper as you're zoomed in and stitching. So this skeleton was almost a surprise because I was stitching in here and I was like, what is this? Is this another candle? It's like sideways, and then it became this little guy reading a book. I love that. I love the color of this fabric too. That is a deep green, and green is my favorite color. And then this is another pin that I found at the antique mall and turned into a needle minder. I love that. I want to do the aquarium too when I'm done with this. This is in a bag from my friend Rebecca at Prancer's Poinsettia. She has her Etsy shop open now, so you should definitely go look that up. She's on Instagram as well, if you wanted to find her there. Super cute. I bought this from her at one of the Northern Kentucky Stitcher meetups before she had her StitchCon trunk show, which is so exciting. But I love it, and I love that it has a handle. And the handles show the fabric that's on the inside, which is a really clever idea. Okay. Next up, people ask me about this project all the time. I love that this little guy is so popular, and I know he doesn't come out nearly often enough. This is Percival from Mama Witch X Stitch on Etsy. I started him on September 14th, 2024. This is where he was when you saw him at the beginning of the year. He is now up to 49.7%. He's on a piece of 20 count mystery Aida from BeStitchMe that I grabbed from a Friday night fight night. Had no name. I'm doing it 1/1. And here he is. Ooh, that fabric is showing up really well today. That's exciting. Look at the little guy. He's fun. All these little leaves and things make you feel really accomplished while you're stitching them because it's just, little mini bonus finishes every time you finish something up there. And he's so mischievous and I just love him. And this is another needle minder from either Little Boat 88 or 805 Stitcher. They both do it with their project bags, or they used to. So he's doing really well. Can't wait to get him back out when I get into my fall and Halloween stitching. And he is in a bag that I'm going to show you way back here because I made it and the zipper popped off the side because I didn't do the seam allowances right. And forgive me, I'm a newbie. That's all we're going to show of that because it's ridiculous how bad that bag is. The next project I have is Rest a While from Plum Street Samplers. I started this on August 19th, 2024. This is where it was when you last saw it. It's on a 32 count piece of Lugana and Murmur from Picture This Plus, doing this 2/2. It's gotten just a very, very small amount of work this year, but that's okay. We're not in a race. This is where it is now. So I worked myself down. I've gotten to the pot that the little fox is going to be in. So it's looking good so far. It is very thick doing it with the 2/2 because, as everyone knows, Picture This Plus, when they dye it, however they do it, it shrinks it. But I kind of like the effect. It looks neat. Not as prim. And this is from the Fangirl Fibers Muppet Christmas Carol box from 1 or 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Like the lamp, not the rat. We're big fans of the Muppet Christmas Carol in this house. I stitched something for my husband last Christmas. It was the scene with the mice where they say no cheeses for us nieces. He loved it. It's been his favorite Christmas movie since he was very young. This is in a bag from, I think Black Needle Society. I got it from their vault. Erin from Autumn Lane designed this. So it's so pretty. I always have to show it off. Now we have a study in nature from the Artsy Housewife. I purchased this because Gigi had a trunk show at Summer Stitch last year here in Cincinnati. And I've seen her trunk show again since then at StitchCon, and it's the same thing. You just stare at it, and seeing them all in person makes you want to stitch every single one of them. But at Summer Stitch, I was staring at it. Like, it was in my line of sight from my table. Had to get it. I started it on August 11th, 2024. I decided to just stitch the butterfly and to do it on a piece of fabric that I found called Rorschach Test from the DigiStitcher. It's an 18 count Aida, doing it 2/1 full cross. This is where it was the last time you saw it. It's had some progress. Here it is now. So it's over half complete. I just have one more wing. Bring it in so you can see. It's exactly the effect I was hoping for. It is going to come over a little further on this side, but that's because I wanted it centered in this big splotch. And my needle minder is from a pin, the Antisocial Butterfly. So I made that. I'm really proud of this one. I love the way it's working up. I love that it's different. Sometimes it's just fun to play with colors and things like that. I'm doing that all in DMC, by the way. That's the full DMC conversion. This is a bag that I made. Part of it is crooked. It's not as bad as the last one. You can see, but I loved this fabric. So I bought some and had to make a bag out of it. You'll see, I think, here in a little bit, a bag that, well, no, I don't think I have it out yet. My next Flosstube video, I'll have started that project, I think. The first bag that I made was perfect. And then I think I got complacent. The rest of them I put together too fast and didn't measure right. It's a whole thing. Okay. Next, we have another project that I coveted that was from an Acorns and Threads gathering thing. You would think I'd learned my lesson. This was the exclusive in 2023. It's from Lindy Stitches. It's called Beachcomber. And I was crazy trying to get my hands on this thing. And back then, I didn't really think, like, hey, contact Acorns and Threads. Number one, I was a little hesitant back then. I didn't know as many people. I didn't know the ropes, all that. So I didn't, but then it was released at market and I bought it directly from Steph so I could get the floss pack and everything. She has you pick your own beads. I have not put beads on this yet. This is where it was when you saw it at the beginning of the year, and this is where it is now. Got that big old whale in. But then, of course, you feel like you're super accomplished because you got the whale in, and then you get to the text box. It's going to be okay. I love this project so much. This is just a mystery lugana from BeStitchMe. It's 32 count. I'm doing this 2/2. It was from a fight night. Not names. I have a little ladybug needle minder that I got at StitchCon 2023 from somebody. So yeah, I love this one. I like it just as much as I thought I would, which is a pleasant thing to discover when you've been wanting to stitch something for so long. I would hate to be desperate to stitch something for over a year and then find out that I didn't like it. I knew that wouldn't happen with one of Steph's patterns. This is also in a wet bag. These make great project bags for these little things if you're ever in a pinch. Back to the Beauty and the Beast obsession. This is my trial run on the Thomas Kincaid MCG Textiles Disney patterns. This is obviously Beauty and the Beast. I started this, I'm using the kit floss, but not the kit fabric. I got the whole kit unopened on eBay for basically retail price, which is unheard of. And I wanted to start with one of the 5x7s before I committed to one of the larger pieces. And at first I hated it. It was really hard for me to follow. But then I made a working copy and started highlighting and fell in love with it. So this is where it was when you saw it at the beginning of the year before that happened. I started this on June 10th, 2024. So this was after 6 months. So now we're here another 6 months later. This is on a 32 count piece of mystery even weave that I grabbed off StitchCon freebie table in 2023, doing a 2/2. Reminder a little. So you saw where it was after 6 months of work. This is where it is after 6 more months. I love this. I'm obsessed. When I finish this, I am definitely going to look into getting one of the larger patterns. If you're out there and you're listening to me and you have the Cinderella, or especially the Lady and the Tramp, and you have a kind heart and will let it go for retail or even a little above, let me know. That's my unicorn at this point. So pretty. I didn't intentionally start to leave Belle and the Beast blank, but then it just kind of started working up that way, and now I'm doing it on purpose, except for one little part. And then my needle minder I grabbed off of Etsy from the Emperor's New Groove. Every time I work on that, it just works up so fast because I get obsessed. And this is in a book sleeve that I got off of Etsy. Beauty and the Beast. And it actually has like a Velcro closure up at the top, which is really handy. Then we have my birthday start from 2024. This is Reaching Skyward from Modern Folk Embroidery, started on April 14th, 2024. It's on a 28 count piece of mushroom lugana from Zweigart. I'm stitching this 1/1, so she's a tiny girl. She is little. When you saw it back in January, it was only at 8.68%. I have this on what I call my Stitch Go board. So I participate in WIP Go. That's as normal. But then I also have a second board, and the numbers that are called correspond to the number of hundreds of stitches that I have to put into two of my largest projects. So this one is on there, along with my Heaven and Earth design, my full coverage, which I'll show you here at the very end. Honestly, I think it's my oldest WIP. Stitch Go has been so good for me. So after a few months of calls, this went from 8.68% up to 21.98%. Here it is. Doing this in 3 colors of DMC. It's charted in 2, but I decided to throw in the blue because I wanted the snowflakes to stand out. Like I said, 1/1, but on this mushroom lugana, I don't find it hard to see it at all. And it probably helps that my full coverage is 25 count 1/1, so it's not that much different. And my needle minder is the Golden Girls. I got that off of Etsy from somebody. So yeah, that's going really great. This has been called for Stitch Go again for the month of July, which I think the numbers are 2 and 16, I think. So this will get 1,800 stitches this month. I am still catching up from June because we went on vacation and then there was StitchCon. So my full coverage is lacking in some stitches, but we're down to less than 1,000 that I still owe that one. So we're catching up. This is in the very first project bag I ever bought. Who is it by? I don't even know if they still make bags anymore. Just Crossing Stitches. But it's super cute. It's got cats doing all kinds of different things. And then, sorry for all the zipping again, but the inside has a nice. And when I bought this, I said, well, I just need one because I'm only going to work on one project at a time. Oh, how naive. How naive do we start off? The next project I have is from Owl Forest Embroidery. This is Monster Wonder Whale. I started this on March 28th, 2024. It's on a piece of 16 count Aida, just in platinum from Zweigart. It got something spilled on it, so there's a little staining, but I think I'm okay with that. It's, a whale, so it can be a little grungy. This is where it was when you last saw it. Put in some work on this one this year, too. This is one of those that really surprised me with how far it came. This is where it is now. A lot of fun to work on. I'm just doing the DMC. I did not purchase the Owl Forest threads. And my needle minder is just a little baseball that I got off of Etsy. And it's only on here because it was opening day when I started this. But that's fine. So he's a lot of stitching. And he's in Pattern Keeper, but I couldn't tell you the percentage because the way their patterns are, only part of it loaded into Pattern Keeper. So the bottom part I have to switch over. Whatever. This is in a little like mini laptop sleeve, maybe an iPad mini, or they used to have those little HP books. I think that's what I had this for originally, was a little HP book. So it's just like a little Vera Bradley sleeve, but it works really well with the project bag. We're getting there, you guys. We've got less than 10 for sure. Next up is the 4 Elements from Satsuma Street, another mystery style that I did not participate in, but bought after I saw the whole thing come together. Love it. I started this as my leap year project on February 29th, 2024, with the goal that I would stitch 1 element per year and be finished by the next leap year. And so far, I am keeping up with that. Mostly. I was a little behind, but I have caught up. And this was called for WIP Go this month. So I should finish the 2nd element this month if all goes to plan. We'll see. This is where it was before. It's on a piece of 32 count lugana and charcoal from Zweigart. It does not photograph well ever, which is always so frustrating to me. But maybe it'll show up okay with our lighting today. This is where it is now. So you can see the earth part is full coverage pretty much till you get to the bottom. But I've got all of the air in and a good chunk of earth. That needle minder is one that my mom bought me from 123 Stitch the last Christmas that she was well. I really like this. I love the color so far in the earth portion. Those flowers were so much fun to do. So I can't wait to get to this again here in a couple of days. I'll have to split my time between my Christmas and July stitching and my WIP Go and Stitch Go goals, which is fine. Don't mind it. This is in a super cute bag that matches a needle minder I showed you a little bit ago from the 805 Stitcher. My mom got me this bag for Christmas that year as well. There was a whole black cat theme. I love them. They're so cute. All right, we're getting into the meaty ones here because this next one is my Mirabilia. This is the Feather Fairy. This was my New Year's Eve start in 2023, so December 31st, 2023. This is on a piece of 32 count Belfast linen and raw silver from Zweigart, doing it 2/2. I have all of the called for, all the Krynic, the beads, all the things. This is where what it looked like when you saw it at the beginning of the year. This was on WIP Go several times. How many times? This is on WIP Go 3 times. It was called in June. It's called again in July. I can't get over this. The blends. It's the blends that get me. Here's where she is now. Look at her skirt. I am telling you, if you can see models of Mirabilias, that's the way to go. Because this does not look like the photo on the front of the pattern. These colors are so rich. They are different than what the picture shows. And I'm just obsessed. So this feather that you can see that I'm currently working on is going to be this really rich, deep green. Oh, I love it so much. So I just have her skirt and her legs and the back stitching and beads to do. But all of the Krynic was up here in the wings. So with that done, it honestly, it feels like I'm in the home stretch, even though I know I'm not. But I just love it so much. And I have the most unfitting needle minder ever on here. There's Sophia from Golden Girls. I love Golden Girls. I used to watch it with my grandma. So it brings back lots of good memories. And now that I'm an adult, if I catch reruns on TV, I'm like, 1, why did that lady let me watch this with her? And because I was little. And 2, she was hilarious. Parts of it don't stand up. Don't get me wrong. But so much of it's so funny. I can't remember who made this bag, but I love this bag. It's really pretty quilted fabric. And then the little tag is the same pattern. Super cute. Was also one of the first bags that I purchased back when I realized that one bag was not going to cut it because I had lied to myself about how many projects I was going to do at one time. Hopping into some Christmas here real fast. This is my last Christmas project that's left over from 2023. This is from Atomic Tiki Pins. It's the 12 Movie Nights of Christmas. Also was a stitch along. Also did not participate. But that's a great thing because she released alternates. So what that looked like is not what mine's going to look like. Parts of it are. The middle is. but there are alternate movies and I have moved some things around. I have recharted a couple of things to make them fit blocks that they weren't originally supposed to be in. So really just having a good time with it. I started this on November 22nd, 2023. Then I did 28 count linen in Alchemy from Picture This Plus, doing it 2/2. Like I said, making my own changes as we go. This is the one project in this entire WIP Parade that has not had any progress this year. So I don't have a progress picture because this is it. This is what it looked like in January, but it's Christmas in July, so it will get some stitching here in the next week or so. So there she is. You can see all of the movies here. So far we've got The Muppet Christmas Carol, Frosty, Home Alone, The Santa Claus, Charlie Brown Christmas, Elf, and A Christmas Story are all in place. So looking so good. I am saving the big tree and all of that in the middle for last. I want to get all of my movies in because I'm just going to follow the pattern as it is for the middle. So I want to get all of my alterations done first. Let's see. What is the one I'm currently about to put in? That's the bottom. Like that goes to the bottom corner, the one. And I think it's supposed to be It's a Wonderful Life, according to my notes. So, and you saw my little Kevin needle minder there when it was hanging. One of my favorite Christmas movies. And this is in a bag that I found on the freebie table at StitchCon in 2023. So the Polar Express, which is a very polarizing Christmas movie. I have come to find out some people love it, but if you don't, you hate it. There's not really a lot of middle ground there, which is funny. I like it. Okay. Getting back to Halloween of 2020. Oh, I didn't even say, well, I guess I said we were New Year, but we are fully into 2023 now. This was started on September 13th, 2023. This is from Autumn Lane Stitchery, Something Wicked This Way Comes. This is on a piece of 28 count opal linen in Oh My Gourd from BeStitchMe. I won this from a Friday night fight night. The margins are messed up, I'm aware, but the way I want to finish it, theoretically, it's going to be mounted and then matted. So like board, piece, mat, and then other things that we'll go over once this is finally finished. So there's a plan. I did not need a starter as far over as I did. Either I can't count or this is a little different than whatever. This is where it was when you saw it in January. And this is where it is now. This fabric never comes out right. It's much darker of a green than this. Not as gray, much more deep green. But look how much work I got in on this. Oh, it looks really good. I'm so happy to have the house done. Very creepy. It feels like I'm about done. I know I'm not because there's a whole bottom half to do, but getting that house done made me feel like I was about done. And then my needle minder here is a Disney needle minder. It says The Mountains Are Calling. And I must go. So very happy with where that one is currently. I know it won't get finished this year, but you know, it has a chance next year, I think. This is in a Jasmine custom bags that's Haunted Mansion themed. Haunted Mansion is my hands down favorite ride at Disney. Love that. Now we have the Moonlight Sampler from the Blue Flower. Can you tell who my favorite designer is? That's what it looks like. I started this on August 30th, 2023. This is on a piece of 20 count Aida in Nantucket from a shop called Vintage Needle Arts. It's actually Nantucket Prim. They're on Etsy. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross. This is like, I don't know, I don't think it's printed, but it's like the back, there's a right side to this fabric because the back has stuff like this. So I don't know. It was very stiff when I first got it, but I worked on this for so long that it's very pleasant to work with now. I've had to make color changes because the original's on that purplish fabric. So I had to change colors of words and things, but I made other alterations to this as well. I changed the dog's coloring. I moved the cat's head to be facing the other way. I made it black, made the woman look like my mom. And this is where it was. Keep forgetting. And this is where it is now. I've gotten a lot in on this since you last saw it in a WIP Parade. It's looking really good. So that's basically the bottom edge. It goes a little further, but I'm down to putting in the last of the border and starting in on the animals and the alphabet down at the bottom. I'm very happy with how this is turning out. I can't wait to get this done. I know exactly where I want to hang this in my house. So a lot of things that I finish just go into my box under the bed, which I know frustrates a lot of people. But I am a process stitcher. I stitch because I love the creative outlet, and anything that I fully finish is just a bonus to me. Or it's something that I specifically made to give to people. I'll finish that up much quicker than I will anything for myself. This is in a project bag from Goose. Really pretty fireflies and things, which I thought fit very well with the theme of the project. We've got 3 more. We are almost done, and these 3 are, one of them's not that big, but you'll see why it's still a WIP, but the other 2 are big. This is my long dog. This is Ragnarok. I'm stitching this in Sulky, so I picked 3 different colors of Sulky. I started it on August 25th, 2023. This is where it was the last time you saw it. Everyone, if you've been watching, knows the tragic tale of my 2-tone horse and my dye lot change. We're past that now. We've figured it all out. Everyone's happy, including the horse. It's on a 32 count piece of Jovelin in Lazy River from Zweigart. 2/2 full cross. Actually, no, lies. 1/2 full cross. Back in January when you saw it, it was at 30.03%, and it's now at 37.98%. So a decent chunk on this year, honestly. Here's where it is. I'm going to back up a little. See, the horse looks fine. He's fine. There you go. Sorry if you can hear. I don't think you can. My son's tablet, Messenger Kids, is ringing in the other room. But he's at dive practice, so I'm really happy with how much progress I've made on this. To have this over 1/3 of the way done is huge for me. And you can see I did not commit to the year. I've got 22, so I've committed to the decade, but I have not committed to the year. So I started this actually when my father-in-law went to the hospital to have his liver transplant. He has a genetic liver disease that was basically killing his liver. And I started this just right before he went in to get his transplant. So it was kind of funny. The hope is the last thing ever lost. It was ironic, but good timing. So loving that. Oh, the other thing I should point out, the black is not Sulky. The black is Anchor. So mostly Sulkies. We're just kind of, going, picking what color goes where as we go along, which is part of the fun of a long dog for me. I've done the monochromatic, but I like doing this as well. And I've got a little Haunted Mansion, Welcome Foolish Mortals needle minder on there. And you can see in the project bag my various assortment of different dye lots of Sulky, my spool of Anchor, and things like that. This is that Teresa Kogut fabric. Goose designed bag, but Teresa Kogut fabric. So I'm really happy with where that one is. She's a big one, but you make so much progress as you stitch on it. It just works up so fast, and it would be faster if I wasn't doing the color changes, but I'm not too worried about it. It'll get done when it gets done, and I'm thinking once it hits 50%, I'll let myself kit up and start a new one. I have one sort of kitted up, but I'm waffling on my decision with what direction I chose on that one. It's Saga. So we'll see. I'm not sure. To be continued. Second to last is, this is a WIP, but I don't normally count it as a WIP. It's Illustrated USA from Dimensions. I grabbed it off of the freebie table at StitchCon in 23 because I saw someone else finish it and she threw the kit on the table and I was like, well, I'm going to do that. I'm filling it in as I visit states in the country. And until this past month, this is what it looked like. So it just sits. It's not an active WIP. It's just whenever the time comes, I fill in something on it. But it's one of my most fun projects because I get to make so many changes. I have changed so many motifs on this to things that are important to us, or colors I like better, or things I want to add. So it's just been a lot of fun. It's just on a piece of 32 count mystery even weave, just off of the freebie table, nice and plain. Tons of sulky, tons of DMC, all my own conversion. And this is where it is now. You've seen this recently if you've watched my regular updates. See my Bernie needle minder. We love Bernie. So, I mean, just high level changes. There's a cruise ship because we've gone on a couple cruises. Mickey for Disney in Florida. The Children's Museum in Indianapolis. Different colors for cherries in DC. I put in the Disneyland castle in California. I've got the Mexican flag down there because we took our honeymoon in Mexico. All that. So it's been a lot of fun as I go to make changes to this. And I can't wait to go further out west, fill in more places. We're hoping to go to Arizona next year for spring training because the Red spring training is in Goodyear, Arizona. And we have friends who live close by there now. So even more of an excuse to get out there, visit with them and take in a few games, go to the Grand Canyon, stuff like that. So to be continued. And this is also in a dot dot goose bag, stars on it. And then the flag is in there. I'm not a super patriotic stitcher person, honestly, but it's cute. It's on theme. It just sits on my shelf until it has to come out and get more work. So a WIP, but not really an active WIP. You know what I mean? All right, we're at the last one. This is my oldest WIP. It is my only project left over from 2022. So everything before that I have finished, which I think is pretty good. So this one's coming up on 3 years old, but it's from Heaven and Earth Designs. So it's a Hate. It's big full coverage. It's a full size pattern. It's not max color. It's just full size, regular amount of colors, 89, whatever. This is Bath Time, art by Lisa Parker. This is on my WIP Go board several times. It is on my Stitch Go board for half of the spaces. Back when you saw it in January, it was at 17.08%, and it's now at 21.1%, which is great. Really, ideally, I would like to put in 10% per year at least on this. So the odds that I get another 9% in before the end of December this year are probably pretty low, but we're at least giving it a fighting chance, and I'm happy with how far it's gotten. Let me unfold this because this is a big one. This is on 25 count, easy count. Lugana from Zweigel, 1/1, full cross. Oh, here it comes. And this is what it looks like now. He has part of a face. Isn't that nice for him? I love this. It's the bubbles that always get people, but man, does this look like my cat. In fact, I'm going to put a picture right here over my face. I put this on my Instagram story, twins. Oh, yeah, there it is. I can't even see. Are you seeing the full kind of? I love him. I love him so much. He's a beast, but he's fun to work on. So let me pull this a little bit so I can get in and show you where I'm working right now. I'm currently finishing up this page right here. So this is the edge of the page. So I'm just finishing that up, and then I'll move over here because I am working pages diagonally. And I'm feathering everything, so there's no page breaks. I just need to finish that up, and then we'll go over here the next time I work on it. There was someone who had asked a few videos ago, and I keep forgetting to show, and I'm very sorry. They wanted to know what the back looked like, how I work it. So like I said, I do it diagonal pages, and then within each page, as I'm working on it, I just work down columns. So the 10 by 10 blocks, I work them down in a column, and then I move over to the next column in that page. Basically cross country, but just in the column. So that's what I do. So you can see that here, how I'm working it in here in this column, and everything else on that page is finished. And I don't mind showing the back because honestly, the back looks pretty good. That's what the back looks like as I'm working that. I don't jump too far. Sometimes I do. So yeah. I know it's not as, scientific as like a real rose or anything like that, typewriter method, all those things, but it works really well for me. And I have finished a mini hay doing that method before, and it's working out pretty good, if I do say so myself. That's it, you guys. This video actually is shorter than my StitchCon recap. How is that possible? I love that for me and for you. Well, good for us. But that's the 2025 mid-year WIP Parade. That's everything I have going on. I have 2 more Christmas starts that are going to come this month for Christmas in July. And then I went on a kitting spree, and I have like 6 other projects that are kitted and ready to go. A lot of them are fall. So by the time we get to January and we get to my next WIP Parade, this is probably going to look completely different, and that's okay. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with me and watching as I go through all of this craziness. I think I'm going to take a picture of my leaning tower of project bags and put it on Instagram here in a second. And then I'm going to go pick up my kid from dive practice and then start editing in pictures and everything so you guys can see everything that I just pointed to thin air for. Thank you guys so much, as always, for watching. I'll be back in 2 weeks with a regular Flosstube update. We'll see all of the Christmas in July goodies that I've got going on and go through some haul, because I did just do BeStitchMe's Friday Night Fight Night again, so there's going to be that. And I know I have some pins coming in the mail today that I'm going to turn into needle minders, and they're super cute. So I'll be sharing those, and yeah. Until then, leave me a comment if you'd like. Please subscribe if you feel that you would like to see further updates. Reach out to me on Instagram. I'm over there as Slone Stitches. Love hearing from you guys over there. And my email address will be in the description box below, along with, hopefully, if I don't hit the character limit, the project information for all of these things. Maybe. If it's not there, it's because it wouldn't fit and I just took it all out. But feel free to ask me questions if you need clarification. And I will see y'all in 2 weeks. Thanks for stopping by. Bye, y'all.